I don't think I'll ever understand why Nintendo does this. You give them a little bit of money, then they just don't know how to act, bro. So they strangely didn't mention anything about prices in the Switch 2 Direct, and we found out that was later because the prices are all crazy. I'm pretty sure that we came to the consensus that the only justifiable price is the Switch 2 console itself, which is $450, which later became unjustifiable when we look at the price of literally everything else. Mario Kart is $80, dog. $80 for a video game, a base video game. This is before any DLC that they could add, bro. And then when we look more into it, it just gets worse and worse with some of the prices of these things. So the main new change that's with the Switch 2 is the addition of GameChat. And to my understanding, you can't use GameChat without Nintendo Switch Online. And if you want to use the full features of it with the camera, you gotta blow another $40 buying the camera for it. So if you want the full Switch 2 experience for what it's enhanced for, then you have to add the 40 and the 20 on top of the 450 for this. It's just crazy. It's ridiculous. And I'm especially looking at GameChat crazy because, dog, you real life could just use Discord. There is an alternative for free that you can just use right there, bro. And it was so funny in the GameChat trailer that they was trying to make it seem like they invented voice chat or something during games. I don't know what they was doing. They was trying to make it seem like it was a revolutionary innovation that they created with voice chat during games. Like every other company hasn't already did it, and like we don't already have so many other alternatives for doing this. I want to get to these enhanced versions of the games though. Specifically, one of the first ones I want to look at is Mario Party Jamboree, because they're releasing an $80 version of Mario Party Jamboree with the DLC that has you using the Switch 2 camera and GameChat as one of the main gimmicks behind like the new content. Which is crazy because how are you gonna make a DLC enhanced version and then lock all the content behind different things you have to buy, like a camera? So if we look at it really, if that's $80, and I got it wrong earlier, it's apparently actually $50 instead of $40 for the camera. So it's $50. So that's $80, and then you add in the 50 to it just to play with the camera. And that's, again, not counting Nintendo Switch Online. Are we seeing what's going on here, bro? I ain't ever seen Nintendo move like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but this is just completely new to me. I remember back when the craziest thing was them making Tears of the Kingdom $70. And they did that literally like, no, hold on. Tears of the Kingdom came out in 2023, and that's their first game that they made $70. Now it is 2 years later, and they are already making another game $80, dog. How are we gonna have a 2-year turnaround for another $10 increase in a video game, bro? We're all aware that Nintendo has never really cared about the industry standard for stuff, but they still at least had a little bit of care in them with the making games $60 on base pay. Now I think they just don't care anymore because the Switch 1 did so well, it was a huge success, and now they ego all up and they think they can do whatever they want, and this is stuff that happens out of it. I really don't know how to feel about the fact that you have to buy an enhanced version, a Nintendo Switch 2 edition of the game, to enjoy the enhancements of the game on the Switch 2. It doesn't make sense because if it's the same game, and you're playing it on Switch 2, wouldn't you think that it would already be enhanced just off of you playing it on Switch 2 alone because you have a better console to run it? Maybe that's just my brain on how I think it's supposed to work, but that makes sense to me, and it doesn't make sense that you have to buy an enhanced version for extra money to enjoy it on Switch 2, which you already bought with extra money. You pay the extra money for the enhancement console. The only one that makes sense is Kirby, because they actually added a whole DLC to justify making the game a higher price, other than just enhancements and improved frame rate. I buy the console for that, dog. I shouldn't have to buy a Switch 2 edition game for that. I bought the console for that. That's the whole, I don't think they understand it. I don't see why is everything a cash grab, bro? I bought the console for that reason, bro. Why do I have to buy a game specific to that for the, like, that makes no sense. No sense at all. And if you really want to see Nintendo moving like Prime Mr. Krabs, let me direct your attention to the $7 tech demo that you have to pay for in order to see how to use the Switch 2. They ain't even trying to hide it no more, bro. This company is officially off the deep end because ain't no way I'm paying $7 for a tech demo on how to use the Switch 2, bro. Like, who do these dudes think they are, bro? The only deal that makes sense out of this is the $500 for the Mario Kart World Bundle and the Switch 2. That is the only deal that makes sense, and it's limited stock. So you best believe I already signed up for it real quick, bro. I signed up for that real quick because if it's not that, then I don't think there's a justifiable way dudes is gonna be getting the Switch 2, bro. Because $500 for that bundle is the only actual deal in this entire situation. The Nintendo Treehouse Lives that they did after the Direct was crazy because the chat was literally spamming drop the price, and it was just drop the price in the entire chat. It didn't matter what game they was playing. I know the dudes that was doing the Treehouse Lives, that was just enjoying the games, I know they have nothing to do with that. So they had to bear witness to the chat that was spamming drop the price. It was the funniest thing ever. And as if it couldn't get any worse with this pricing situation, the pre-orders for the Switch 2 in the US are being delayed indefinitely to assess for the impact of the tariff. So we literally can't even pre-order yet. Not even on the 9th, we can't pre-order. We just don't know when we'll be able to. that's just the situation we find ourselves in. So all this pricing stuff is pre-tariff consideration. Yeah, I think I might just crash, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know about this. Let me know how y'all are feeling about these Switch 2 prices, and let me know if y'all are pre-ordering the Switch 2. Me personally, the only way that I feel like I'm pre-ordering it right now is if I can get my hands on that Mario Kart bundle. I'm really gambling a lot on that because that's really the best deal out of this whole situation. Nintendo has lost their minds. I don't know what they're thinking with this, but hopefully we get a price drop, and hopefully they start listening to the consumer, and hopefully the impact of the tariffs isn't that bad. And yeah, so thank y'all for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like on your way out, and yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.